Hello everybody and welcome to another video of Real Life Media, bringing you media that matters to people like us who live in the schemes. Okay, so today's video is going to focus on the new ultra low emission zones, which runs 24/7. The only day it will be turned off is Christmas Day, and for some strange reason, if you're parked inside the zone but don't drive, you're exempt. So how can you park in the zone if you don't drive? And how do you drive into the zone if you don't drive? Very confusing. But anyway, let's get on with statistics here and bring you real life. It's going to affect you, affect your cash, and this is what it's all about. Everybody like us for the schemes, hard-working people, etc. So the news is in, and it's 1 in 4 vehicles in Britain roads will no longer be allowed into Glasgow city centre, where you will be faced with a £60 fine every time you break this new law. So starting on the 1st of June, we'll see 11 million cars and vans banned from the centre of Scotland's largest city. Diesel cars or vans registered before September 2015, Euro Standard 6. Petrol cars or vans registered before 2006, Euro Standard 4, will no longer be permitted in the LEZ. This is what they're calling it, low emission zones, LEZ. So if your car doesn't meet the criteria, you'll be fined for getting into the LEZ. Similar zones will be introduced throughout Scotland's cities as part of the S.N.P's new green agenda. So there are, according to the DVLA statistics, still 6.7 million diesel cars in British roads registered between 1980 and 2015, along with 2 million diesel vans. A further 2.2 million petrol cars and vans will also be banned from the LEZ, along with 200,000 heavy good vehicles, 100,000 buses and coaches. There are currently 40.3 million licensed vehicles in the UK, meaning 1 in 4 will be banned from Glasgow LEZ zones. Drivers will be hit with an automatic £60 fine for every breach, with a network of number plate registration cameras enforcing the rules. Basically telling us what we can and we can't do. The fine can be reduced to £30 if paid within 14 days. So this is the Greens. This is the Greens are enforcing these things. This is my opinion, the Greens. The Greens can't even get a simple deposit return scheme up and running for recycling, and are pushing to protect parts of the coastlines in Scotland, telling us where we can and can't swim. Absolutely crazy. The S.N.P need the Greens to keep a majority. That's common sense politics. And in my opinion, the S.N.P are just doing what they're told by the Greens to keep their majority. And if you pay the reduced fine within 14 days, is their way of being really kind. and the reduced fine is £30 if paid within 14 days. Penalty rates double for repeated entries, up to a maximum of £480 for cars and £960 for buses and heavy good vehicles. Starting June the 1st, people living within the zone will start being penalised for vehicles that don't meet the criteria. Electric vehicles are exempt from the laws. There are still 6,724,500 diesel cars, 1,967,600 diesel vans, 2,249,200 petrol cars, 34,400 petrol vans, buses and coaches, 93,800. All going to get fined if they get into the laws. It's going to be throughout the whole of Scottish cities. So HGVs, there's still 192,600, bringing the total to an astonishing 11,262,000 excuse me, 262,500 banned from the laws. Only, for the research I can find, 1,500 people have signed a petition calling for a stop to the unfair laws in Glasgow and other Scottish cities. These crazy laws will impact business, transport, residential, football, right down the line to even booking a minibus for your night out. It's also going to affect cultural days where you need buses, Unionist parades, Republican parades, Loyalist parades, whatever way you want to, whatever name you want to put on it. It's going to affect everybody. In my opinion, councils need to find another hustle, because this is a money making scheme and nothing to do with cleaning the air. It's all about making money. That's what everything is nowadays. All the money back to the government, all the time. So, moving on, S.N.P Transport Minister Kevin Stewart said, "We all have the right to breathe clean air and we all have a moral duty to act." Which is fair. It's completely fair. Too much vehicles on the road, it is pollution. If you've got asthma, underlying health issues, it's going to affect you, but penalising hard-working people is not the right way to go about it. Surely they can hire a think tank to come up with something better, like change the MOT emissions, so if it doesn't reach the emissions it's allowed, and then nobody's getting fined, everybody's doing the right thing. So, in my opinion, if your vehicle's MOT, taxed and insured, they should mind their business and stop trying to control us. You've got poor people and families who live within the zone and probably work all hours God sends to afford their wee car, keep it clean, look after it. They'll be punished by a government overnight for doing nothing wrong. This is outrageous. More people need to start standing up for their rights, because slowly but surely they are taking them all away. Whether it's you need this vaccine, you need this, lockdowns, blah blah blah. Ever since COVID came, We seem to be losing rights all the time. So anyway, moving on. Hard-working people, self-employed people, small business, normal people, just trying to make their living, definitely don't need at this moment during a cost of living crisis. It's, in my opinion, disgusting behaviour by all of government, up north, down south, across the sea. This is not what we need at the moment. People need to have a wee bit of security, not just keep getting fines for this, fines for that, can he do this, can he do that. It's getting a wee bit out of hand now. So, as he says, we have a moral duty, and we do have a moral duty. Climate change is, whether you believe in it, whether you don't, it's something that's here, something that's going to stay with us, it's something that's going to need addressed. So this is just a wee quick video, just to let you all know that if your car doesn't fit the criteria, you're not allowed in the Les. End of. You get fined, repeatedly fined. People are going to start changing their number plates, and then, you know what it's like. Bring out a new law and people find a loophole or some way around about it, and things go nuts. So I'd like to just finish off quickly about the local council elections. I stated previously in my last video about Rishi smiling, couldn't sit at peace, pishy Rishi as if he'd paid the seat. He's no smiling anymore, is he? I think he's realised that people are had enough. Whether they love the Tories, they love the S.N.P, they love the Greens, they love the Lib Dems, people are now looking for change. And maybe a wee bit of hope. Maybe that change will bring that wee bit of difference we all need at this difficult time. So, Scottish elections, I don't know, it's kind of hard to call at the moment, but if Hamza useless, if he goes and the Greens go, we maybe get a Labour government across the board, down south and up north, and possibly things could change, like free prescriptions in Scotland. If Labour are charging prescriptions in England, they'll obviously need to bring some sort of charge in Scotland. But there's always a cost. There's never a win-win. Never. There's always a cost. Somebody always loses out. But it's usually always the hard-working people who are doing their best, working their arse off to keep their wee motor, keep their house, keep food in the plate. Or if, like me, you've ended up with a disability, underlying health problems, it affects everybody. For the people who work hard, to the people who used to work hard, to the people who wish they could still work hard, because you don't get any money in universal credit, you get enough and just enough, and sometimes it's no enough. So let's see what the future brings, politics wise, because I think people are waking up and starting to realise it's time for change. It's time for change. And in these laws, I mean, the numbers is unreal. 11,262,500 vehicles banned from the Les. You couldn't make this up. You could not make this up. It is nuts. It's crazy. But the governments are getting more dictatorial. People are getting more afraid to speak out. You've got the hate speech law. which is shouldn't be allowed. You've got free, surely we've all still got freedom of speech, and you're allowed to have your opinion, but hate speech alone is enough. It's getting a wee bit too dictatorial. And on the subject of emissions, would I be right in saying for the last 15 years, give or take, Nicola Sturgeon's more or less travelled everywhere by helicopter? And you maybe have a brand new, somebody's got money, good on them, enjoy the car. Maybe somebody's got a brand new 5 litre Rolls Royce, a Mercedes, Porsche, whatever. They're exempt for the les because they meet some sort of criteria, but surely a 5 litre's still going to pish its nonsense on into the atmosphere. I can't see where they're coming from. They're trying to make a change, but these things need to happen gradually. Give people a chance to move slowly forward, slowly. Can't it just happen overnight? And you get a hard-working guy and he's out working, and say he makes £400 a week, and he goes in to a les zone, and then he gets fined. He doesn't know he's in a les zone, so he gets lost, and he's in and out, and he's in and out. How does he pay his rent? His council tax, his car insurance, his road tax? How does he put food on the table? This is what politicians do not think. They don't live in the real world. They live in their own wee bubble where money's not a problem. They get their expenses. They bring out crazy laws. The Greens are, they can't even get a simple deposit return scheme for recycling. They can't even get that right. So like I say, it's going to affect everybody right down the line. Small businesses, people who need their van to get into the city centre to do the work, can't afford a new van, things like that. That's the people it affect. So I'd finish the video by saying, start standing up for your rights. Stand up for yourself. Sign petitions. Put in complaints. Fight back, but by the law of the land. Don't break the law. Use the law to your advantage. That'd be my advice to anybody. So, for Real Life Media, as always, take care, stay safe, God bless, goodbye.